Hey, Spirit of Christ Church family, Jesse still coming to you from my home. Masks, masks. I can tell you for sure, I never would have imagined there would be a day where there'd be so much emotion and opinion connected to these face coverings. We have a bunch at my house, Michigan State ones, fun pineapple ones, plaid ones, and of course, golden unicorn ones for those who love unicorns. So yeah, masks, big deal these days, right? And everybody's got an opinion. I'll tell you, I don't really like them myself either. I don't enjoy wearing them. But I did want to touch base with you all on them and tell you that we are going to continue to ask you to wear those if you are joining us in person for our Sunday gatherings or our Wednesday prayer gatherings. Now, last Sunday, I did make an announcement during the sermon time saying that during that sermon, while we remained stationary and socially distanced, that you could remove your mask. And I apologize, that was a misstep on my part. That was not the right choice. I'll tell you though, it was motivated by a desire to continue to progress into a place that maybe would make more people comfortable, because I know some people are mildly uncomfortable, some people are very uncomfortable, and some people are very upset about the whole mask thing. But I'll tell you why. I'm stepping that back again this weekend back to where we were before, keeping the masks on. But I do hope and believe that this is just temporary. I don't think this is going to be forever. And I'll tell you why. The why is because I care about you. There have been churches all across our nation. I don't know how many. I've read reports on a few. There's even been a church in our own city that has had a COVID outbreak. In one church that I read, the pastor put a video out just like this to his congregation and to the public after they had a huge outbreak within their church, and he was nearly in tears. They had been meeting like us. They've been socially distancing in their meetings like us, but they did not press the issue of wearing masks. And this sweet pastor, almost on the verge of tears, says, "I just wish we would have told people to wear masks." And I want to listen to my brother. I want to listen to my brothers and sisters. And locally, at Harper's the Bar, there was an outbreak. Now in there and at the church in our city where there was an outbreak, they were asking people to social distance, but they were not requiring masks. And so people were not. So we are socially distancing, and we're going to continue to ask you to wear masks. It's not a small church thing. It's not a big church thing. It can happen anywhere. I'm just glad that we get to meet. I'm glad that we have a facility that's big enough and a congregation that numerically works where we can socially distance and meet together. I have friends who run churches in our own city who still are not able to meet together because they can't figure out a way to make it feasible. Now there are some churches that are meeting, and those that are have to put in special stipulations, and sometimes you have to register ahead of time just to come to the service. They're social distancing. They have to run multiple services to get people in and out who want to participate, and man, that's just a big hairy ball of wax that I'm glad we don't have to deal with. So there's people all across the spectrum in this thing, and here we are. So I want you to know it's not because I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I trust God. Psalm 27 was the theme of our prayer time on Wednesday, and those times have been powerful. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is our stronghold. We're not afraid. It's not a political decision either. It's just a socially responsible and a biblically responsible decision that we as an eldership have been seeking to make as we walk this time out. Now, Again, I know there's opinions on everything. I'm not here to weigh in opinions necessarily, but let's just be clear on a couple things. The gospel is never chained, whether we're meeting or not meeting, whether people are wearing masks or not wearing masks. The gospel is not chained. The power of God still walks through prison doors, even without humans in the mix. Think of how the prayers of God's people released Peter from prison. It was the power of God through people's prayers that released him. It was the power of God. The power of God is not limited by whether we are limited in how we can interact or where we can interact. Now, like I said, we get to meet. We just want to make it safe because I care about you. Let's just be clear though, the gospel still has power. We still have influence. Our prayers still work. Our prayers can change things. We can see this thing turned around in a moment. let's just make sure we're caring for one another and loving one another in the midst of it. And so, look, I don't know very many people, any people really who've told me they enjoy wearing masks. Some people don't mind, some people really do. And I just want to let you know, I know that I'm aware of all the different thoughts and opinions and feelings, and I just want to do our best as a spiritual family to love well. And so this is where we feel like we need to be now, and I would love if you feel comfortable to join with us in person. Now, there are some who are still not comfortable meeting in person, and that's very real too, or some who just don't prefer to meet under these circumstances. We bless you. We're going to continue to provide virtual servicing, the online services for Sunday morning as well as Wednesday prayer gathering, and so appreciate those of you who've been joining that way. It's been fun even for our extended family in other states to be joining us for prayer and for Sunday morning, so that's a blessing that we hope to continue regardless of what the landscape looks like. So thank you for your patience. Please forgive me for my misstep, and just want to let you know that we're walking that back this week, and we're going to continue to go after Jesus with all of our hearts. Expect great things. You know, the kingdom of God is way bigger and stronger than anything that the devil or the government or anyone you think that is at work right now. I want you to know that God is more at work. He is more in control and more powerful than every circumstance or guideline or precaution that we are asked to take. He's so much bigger. And I just want to let you know that I love you. God's on the throne. He's moving big time. And I'm glad we're in this together. I've so been enjoying what the Lord is doing with us during this season. So I hope to see you either in person or online Sunday morning with your mask in hand. Love you all.